Georgia Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene is expected to appear at a hearing in Atlanta in a challenge to not allow her to run for re-election. Now, this challenge says the Republican congresswoman is ineligible to run under a provision of the 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution.
Fox Chattanooga Sam Pena joins us live this morning in the studio with more details. So, Sam, this is certainly a big talker on social this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a massive story, and good morning to you as well, Greg. Good morning, Christy. And what we know right now at the moment is that this suit was filed by a nonprofit organization and alleges that Representative Greene aided and engaged in an insurrection to obstruct the peaceful transfer of power on January 6th. The case was taken before a federal judge who allowed it to proceed to an administrative law court. The lawsuit is filed on the federal level since the disqualification of a candidate can only be enforced at the federal level. A state cannot unilaterally enforce a procedure to remove a candidate from the ballot, and if the lawsuit is successful, a federal prosecutor could bring criminal charges against the representative. Greene took issues with the judge's decision to allow the case to proceed, saying it bypassed state and federal procedures.
Congress is the one that is supposed to handle this under the 14th Amendment, not some judge in an administrative law court. I don't care what the lawsuit says. I did nothing wrong. And this is a scam. Okay, so I'm not entertaining this.
As the election gets closer, the race heats up. Today, we looked into where these negative ads came from and how the candidates are responding. New ads on the radio and in the mail, digging into candidates Matt Hullander and Sabrina Smedley.
This is why good people don't get involved in politics, because it gets ugly like this.
This mailer calling out Hullander's business track record and a radio spot calling one of Smedley's endorsements a, quote, liberal teachers union with a radical woke agenda.
I have an 8-year conservative track record, a conservative track record. Anyone that knows me knows that those claims are false.
Commissioner Smedley hinting fellow candidate Weston Wamp may have had a hand in this.
I haven't taken the time to look into this, but it's a little ironic that I was attacked the same day that another person running for Hamilton County Mayor was attacked.
And the Hullander campaign more blatantly pointing the finger, saying in a statement, quote, "Clearly Weston Wamp has decided to attack us because he is way behind and running out of time." But Wamp denies any involvement.
My opponents both know that's not true. It's absolutely not true. Our campaign has no involvement with any outside group, nor can we have any involvement with an outside group.
The ads are funded by a group called Chattanoogans for Responsible Government.
I know nothing about the group or the organization. I know nothing about what they've done or what they're going to do in the future.
Wamp admits he's friends with at least one of the group's leaders and knows he's supportive of their campaign, but he says the connection ends there.
The first I saw the mail piece is when I got home last night, and it was in my mailbox.
And he says as long as ads aim to tell the truth, he doesn't see a problem with the negativity.
If you run and the focus of your campaign is your business career deserves scrutiny. If you run and the basis of your campaign, as it has been with Sabrina's 8 years on the county commission, it deserves scrutiny. My whole career deserves scrutiny.
A man running for Hamilton County School Board stands by his controversial stance on LGBTQ topics. One District 6 candidate has been accused of handing out campaign flyers on school property. In those flyers, he alleges the LGBTQ community is, quote, recruiting new members. While his comments are receiving criticism, there are questions as to whether he should have been on the school property in the first place.
District 6 school board candidate John Baker says he never actually stepped on Red Bank school property to pass out these flyers.
And I emphasized to my teammates, I said, do not step off the sidewalk.
But parent Teresa Atkins claims that's exactly what happened.
2 days ago, we were driving to pick up the kids from school, me and my wife. And as we pulled into the school, a lovely lady kind of jumped out in front of the Jeep.
Teresa says at first she skimmed the flyer until she got to this section.
I am not a homophobe. However, I observed decades ago that homosexuality could never be successful since they could not reproduce. What they are doing now is recruiting new members.
That was the part where it was just like, you know what, I don't need to read this anymore.
In our interview, Baker elaborated, telling us he believes too often school authority figures are grooming kids to join the LGBTQ community, and that parents should dictate exposure to LGBTQ issues.
So do you stand by that statement?
I stand by that statement.
But Teresa says this logic is flawed.
We're not recruiting people. We're not like, hey, this lifestyle is so great, come be gay. Because I can tell you, I've lived in my house for 2 years. We've been gay the whole time, and not one neighbor has walked up to me and let me know that we changed the neighborhood to a gay neighborhood.
adding that whoever represents her and her family on school board should want to promote understanding.
People say kids' minds are young and they're moldable, but they're moldable to acceptance.
We brought our concerns to Baker.
Someone in your district, right, is coming from a queer family, etc. You do feel like you can represent them in their best interest?
Very much so, because I'm there to protect their kids.
And we also reached out to the school district about this today. A spokesperson confirmed to us that campaigning on school property is not allowed and that they have reached out to Baker to inform us about this. There are 4 candidates running for District 6, John Baker, Cindy Fain, Dolores Gross-Vinson, and Ben Connor. One of these candidates will take over for Joe Galloway, who is not seeking re-election.